Imagine this. You're walking into Sam's Club thinking you're about to score deals, stock up on necessities, and maybe sample a few freebies. But behind that glowing members-only sign and oversized shopping carts lies a maze of upsells, pricing tricks, and psychological nudges you weren't supposed to notice. You didn't just enter a warehouse. You walked into a high-stakes game of retail chess, where you're not holding the winning pieces. Let's start at the gate, the membership card. That little piece of plastic feels like an exclusive backstage pass, right? But what if I told you it's more like a cover charge to a concert where the best seats cost extra? Most people grab the basic membership thinking they're getting in on all the perks. But surprise, early shopping, free shipping, and those sweet pharmacy discounts, those are plus only. That's right. The basic tier is basically the bait. Oh, and did you know auto renewal is switched on by default? Yep. One day you'll check your bank account and find a mysterious charge you didn't remember agreeing to. It's not a glitch, it's designed that way. Turning off auto renewal means digging through your account settings or calling customer service. And spoiler alert, they're trained to keep you on the hook. Expect a friendly tug of war with discounts, benefits, and hold music before they let you go. The price you paid for that membership? Don't assume it stays the same. Increases creep in like termites, quiet, slow, and destructive. Notices? Buried in promotional emails no one reads. You find out the hard way when your card's already been charged. And while the refund policy sounds like a safety net, cancel anytime, satisfaction guaranteed, there's a catch. They track refund patterns. Ask for too many, and suddenly that generosity dries up. It's like returning too many birthday gifts and finding out you're no longer invited to the party. And let's talk about those promotions, cashback, gift cards, limited time deals. They sound generous, but good luck reaping the rewards unless you follow specific links, hit spending thresholds, or catch the invisible asterisks in the fine print. Don't see the catch? That's the point. But these mind games aren't just digital. The physical store layout is another silent puppet master. That simple trip for milk? It's a detour through Temptation City. Essentials like eggs and paper towels are shoved all the way in the back, so you're forced to pass towers of impulse buys just to reach them. It's retail herding, and we're the cattle. Ever noticed how the front entrance always looks like a seasonal wonderland? That's no accident. High-margin holiday merch and shiny new gadgets greet you when your wallet is still full and your resolve intact. Wide aisles? Towering displays? That's all part of the bulk equals bargain illusion. You subconsciously think you're saving because things look big, even when the math says otherwise. And the confusion doesn't stop there. Sam's Club changes product locations between stores, and even within the same store, just to keep you searching. That treasure hunt vibe isn't fun and quirky. It's strategic. The more you wander, the more you discover things you weren't looking for, and suddenly, just eggs becomes a $200 cart. Let's not forget the smiling folks handing out samples. They aren't there just to be nice. Sampling is one of the most effective sales tactics in existence. Studies show it can boost sales by up to 300%. A tiny cube of cheese turns into a full basket purchase, no coupons necessary. The brain gets tricked. Tasting food activates pleasure centers and creates cravings. You're not hungry, but suddenly you're stocking up like there's a storm coming. And don't let the toothpick fool you. Those folks behind the sample trays, they're trained. Not just in food safety, but in soft selling. They're quietly suggesting recipes, offering product benefits, and nudging you closer to the purchase without ever saying the word buy. It's like they're your friendly kitchen consultant in disguise. Here's a fun one. Bulk buying. Everyone's favorite money-saving strategy. Or so we've been told. The truth? It's often a waste trap. You buy a 12-pack of yogurt thinking it'll last forever. But let's be real. How fast can one household go through perishables before the expiration date starts whispering doom? Spoilage is the silent killer of your savings. You throw out half of what you bought, and suddenly that deal becomes a dumpster-worthy regret. And if you think this only applies to food, think again. That 2-year supply of dish soap? It might lose potency before you hit the halfway mark. Certain cleaning chemicals break down over time. Even toilet paper can degrade if stored improperly. Hello, musty garage humidity? But hang tight, because the biggest twist is still coming. What Sam's Club does with your data, that's where the real secrets begin to surface. Every time you swipe that membership card, you're not just paying for goods, you're feeding a data machine. Sam's Club isn't just tracking what you buy, they're tracking when, how often, and even how you shop. Every frozen lasagna, every bottle of shampoo, every aisle you linger in becomes part of a massive digital profile. Think about it. They know if you shop more on weekends, if you respond better to digital coupons than in-store signs, or if you always grab snacks after walking past the sample stations. And yes, they're watching those interactions too. How long you pause, whether you take a second bite, even the route you take through the store, it's all data. It sounds like sci-fi, but it's retail reality. Combine that with your online activity, browsed products, abandoned carts, mobile app behavior, and they've got a blueprint of your consumer soul. You're not just a customer anymore. You're a behavioral pattern. This lets them personalize offers down to the individual. You and your neighbor might receive totally different deals for the same product, based on nothing more than how often you click on dessert recipes or whether you reacted to last month's email promo. Creepy? Absolutely. Effective? Incredibly. And it doesn't stop at Sam's. Remember, Sam's Club is owned by Walmart, and that means cross-platform data sharing is very much a thing. What you browse at Walmart.com might influence what you get pitched in-store at Sam's Club. The lines between stores, websites, and shopping apps? Totally blurred. Privacy policies? Sure, they exist, but they're vague by design. You'll never know the full extent of how your data is being crunched, sold, or shared. The algorithms deciding what shows up in your inbox or on your app dashboard. Black box secrets wrapped in marketing speak. And that data doesn't just stay in-house. Third-party vendors, especially manufacturers, get sanitized versions of this behavior goldmine. They learn what products you gravitate toward, what you ignore, and how likely you are to act on a sale. This fuels everything from packaging designs to promotional placements. You're not just shopping, you're being studied. So next time you get a personalized offer that feels eerily well-timed, know this: it probably is. Based on hundreds of data points, Sam's Club has predicted not only what you might want, but when you're most likely to cave in and buy it. But data mining is just one layer. Let's peel back another. The mystery of their in-house brand, Members Mark. You see that label on peanut butter, patio furniture, shampoo, chicken broth, and barbecue sauce. But what is Members Mark? It's not one company. It's a rotating cast of secret manufacturers. That peanut butter you loved last month? It might be made by a different factory this month, even if the label looks identical. No notice, no warning, no way to check. That's because Members Mark products are often made by well-known national brands under hush-hush agreements. Same assembly line, same ingredients, just cheaper packaging. It's like finding out your discount cola is secretly bottled by Coca-Cola, but no one's allowed to confirm it. And here's the kicker. Sam's Club can switch manufacturers whenever they want. They don't have to tell you if your favorite trail mix just changed recipes, or if your go-to frozen pizza now comes from a different factory across the country. One bite might taste different, and you'll never know why. Sometimes these products are trial runs, stealth tests for potential permanent additions. If it flops, they pull it quietly. If it succeeds, they roll it out with a shiny new campaign. You might unknowingly be a product tester, voting with your wallet in real time. Packaging changes? They don't always reflect actual product changes, and vice versa. It's an illusion of consistency that hides real volatility. Flavor, texture, ingredient sourcing, they all vary from batch to batch. And when customers complain about subtle differences, there's no one to hold accountable. That's just how Members Mark is, they'll say. And still, there's more. Remember how those towering shelves make everything feel like a bulk bargain? Here's the unsettling truth. Warehouse pricing isn't always better. You've been trained to believe it is, but the numbers don't always support it. For starters, unit prices can be hard to decipher. They're not always clearly labeled. And when they are, they often use different units of measurement. Ounces here, pounds there, servings somewhere else. Trying to compare prices between items is like solving a math puzzle while pushing a 70-pound cart. Sam's Club banks on you not doing that math. They place ultra-expensive items next to moderately expensive ones so the cheaper items feel like a bargain. It's called price anchoring. Seeing a $100 cooler next to a $250 one makes the $100 one look like a steal, even if it's overpriced compared to stores outside the warehouse bubble. They also inflate base prices before applying instant savings promos. So yeah, the discount is real, but only because the original price was higher than what you'd pay at a regular grocery store. It's like marking up a $30 bottle of wine to $50 and then offering it for $40. You still think you're saving. Want to hear the most ironic twist of all? Sometimes the same exact products, same barcode, same size, are cheaper online or even at Walmart during sales. Yes, Sam's Club's sibling store may undercut its own warehouse chain on price, but you'd never know unless you comparison shop, which they're counting on you not doing. And we're still not done, because what's coming next is the most personal and arguably most manipulative tactic in their entire playbook. Keep watching. Here's where things get deeply psychological. Sam's Club isn't just betting on your shopping habits, they're subtly shaping them. One of their most cunning strategies, making you believe that buying more always equals saving more. But in reality, the warehouse model often turns your good intentions into wasted money. Let's start with perishables. You buy in bulk thinking you'll save in the long run, but food doesn't care about your budget. It cares about time. That jumbo pack of Greek yogurt, it'll turn sour before your healthy eating goals do. 6 tubs of hummus, mold before motivation. The tragedy here isn't just spoilage. It's that you paid extra for the privilege of throwing food away. Studies show that 30 to 40% of bulk food ends up in the trash in U.S. households. Why? Because people dramatically overestimate how much they can actually consume before expiration dates slam the door shut. When the price per ounce looks low, your brain starts dreaming of meal preps and savings, but your fridge and freezer tell a very different story. Speaking of storage, do you really have room for 2 gallons of mayo and a 15-pound bag of frozen chicken? Most home kitchens aren't built for bulk storage, and cramming perishables into every cranny just speeds up spoilage. Ever left a massive bag of berries in the back of the fridge only to rediscover it as a moldy science experiment? Multiply that by 10. But it doesn't stop at food. Even household goods and cleaning supplies lose their effectiveness over time. Buy a 2-year supply of laundry detergent, and you risk ending up with clumpy, separated goo that barely cleans a sock. Over-the-counter medicines, vitamins, personal care items, they all have shelf lives that shorten in the wrong storage conditions. What's worse? Bulk buying often tricks you into overconsumption. When there are 30 granola bars in the pantry, it's easier to grab 3 in a day instead of 1. It's like stocking your kitchen with temptation and calling it savings. Except your wallet, and sometimes your waistline, pays the real cost. But here's where things really go off the rails. Some of those massive value packs are priced higher per unit than their regular-sized counterparts at other stores. That's right. You could be paying more for the illusion of saving. It's not just misleading, it's masterfully deceptive. And the inconsistencies don't stop there. Ever try comparing prices at Sam's Club using the shelf labels? Good luck. Unit prices are scattered, inconsistent, and sometimes downright confusing. Ounces for one item, pounds for another, per pack on a third. You'd need a calculator and a spreadsheet just to figure out what's actually the better deal. And while we're unraveling myths, let's take a second look at Member's Mark. You'd assume a store brand means a cheaper alternative. That's the whole point, right? But Member's Mark is playing a different game. Sam's Club positions it as a premium brand. Sleek packaging, big displays, and in some cases higher prices than national competitors. It's a budget brand in name, but not always in price. And yet, you can't verify much about it. Want to know who really makes that Member's Mark coffee? Good luck. Sam's Club doesn't disclose its suppliers, so you're left guessing if your coffee beans came from a reputable roaster or a bargain bin bulk plant. The same goes for sauces, snacks, supplements. You're shopping blind, with no way to judge by manufacturer reputation or track record. That mystery deepens when you realize many Member's Mark items are nearly identical to products sold by other retailers under different private labels. It's like buying the same toaster with a new nameplate slapped on and a different price tag. But because Sam's keeps the sourcing info sealed tight, customers can't do true comparison shopping. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, your entire interaction with the brand is feeding back into their system. Remember all that data from earlier? It's being used not just to tailor offers, but to decide which Member's Mark products live or die. You're an unwitting focus group, constantly shaping inventory without knowing it. Even packaging updates are part of the experiment. A new bottle design might not mean a new formula, but a product you loved that quietly disappears from shelves? That might have just been a test, and you weren't invited to the debrief. And here's the final sting. All of these strategies, membership tiers, product placement, sampling tricks, pricing illusions, data tracking, are working in concert. Each tactic supports the next. You're nudged into overbuying. Overbuying feeds waste. Waste justifies buying more. And all of it reinforces the idea that your membership is paying off. But once you start connecting the dots, the picture becomes clearer. Sam's Club isn't just a store. It's a system. A finely tuned machine designed to maximize your spend while minimizing your awareness. Stick around, because in the final stretch, we're exposing what might be the most manipulative practice yet. A strategy so subtle, so effective, you've likely fallen for it without ever realizing. And it starts the moment you walk in the door. You know that first moment you walk into Sam's Club, that wave of cool air, the towering stacks of products, the sense that you've just entered a shopping wonderland? That feeling isn't an accident. It's manufactured. From the lighting to the layout to the very first thing you see, it's all scripted. You're stepping onto a stage, and you're the star of a very profitable show. Let's talk about entry psychology. That first display when you walk in, always seasonal, always eye-catching, and always high margin. Whether it's Halloween in August or beach chairs in February, they hit you with products that trigger urgency and emotion. You weren't planning on buying a snowblower, but it's front and center, and suddenly you're wondering if you need one just in case. That's called impulse anchoring. It gets more calculated from there. Wide, uncluttered aisles give you the illusion of freedom and space, but freedom is a ruse. The layout forces a clockwise journey through the store, which retail studies show increases time spent shopping. It's subtle, but powerful. You're being directed without realizing it. And in this carefully choreographed dance, your cart is a co-conspirator. Sam's Club carts are massive. Not for your convenience, but to make what you buy look smaller. A regular-sized cart filled to the brim makes you think twice. But in a Sam's Club cart, even a $300 haul looks like you're just warming up. Empty space equals psychological permission to keep shopping. And speaking of spending, here's where the trap tightens. Checkout optics. You've noticed it, right? The lack of price signage at the register, no subtotal until it's too late. No quick way to calculate totals as you go. It's not just inconvenient, it's strategic. By the time you reach the cashier, you're already committed. Removing price awareness at the point of decision reduces sticker shock and hesitation. Even the receipt strategy plays a role. They don't hand you your receipt immediately. They scan it at the exit. This final checkpoint isn't really about preventing theft. It's about reinforcing the value of your purchase. Someone reviews your cart, nods, and waves you through. It's a psychological high five that tells you, yep, you did good. Even if you just dropped half your paycheck on snack packs and mouthwash. Now zoom out. Every element of the warehouse experience is built around one thing: maximizing your spend without triggering regret. They want you to feel like a savvy shopper, a deal hunter, a provider. But in reality, they're playing a long game of nudges, habits, and perception control. You think you're making choices, but you're reacting to cues they've spent years perfecting. And here's the real kicker. Sam's Club counts on repeat exposure. They know the more often you shop, the more you normalize bulk spending. You start thinking it's the only way to shop, that regular grocery stores are overpriced, that small quantities are wasteful, that buying big equals living smart. But it's a carefully seeded illusion, because behind the towering displays and shiny perks lies a company that tracks, predicts, and subtly manipulates your every move. From the auto-renewed membership you forgot to cancel, to the product rotation you never noticed, to the yogurt you threw out last week, they're winning at a game you didn't know you were playing. So the next time you stroll those aisles, remember, this isn't just a warehouse. It's a psychological labyrinth dressed up as a bargain hunter's paradise. But now, you know the tricks. You've seen the seams. And that makes you more powerful than most. Before you head out, ask yourself, how many other great deals in your life are hiding this kind of complexity? Because once you start spotting the patterns, you'll see them everywhere. And when you do, you'll never shop the same way again.